Welcome back, NoDQ Galaxy, to a brand new edition of the NoDQ Review 272. I am the moderator, Virtue, being joined by this week's elite panel of the NoDQ Review. Of course, Aaron Rift. Mike is here, TJS is here, and making his return, per my request, Dr. Jargo, Mr. J. Mr. J, what's up, everybody? Jargo, what's going on?
It's great to see you guys, man. You know, it never fails that when Virtue needs somebody to fill in for the review, I happen to be on vacation. Like every time this seems to happen. I'm the CM Punk of the NoDQ review. I show up, I do my spot. You don't see me for 6 months.
Dude, and boy, yeah, I'm glad to have you on for this one. We were going to do it Sunday night, but Aaron had some NXT show to cover. Didn't want to do the review before or after that. So here we are, special Tuesday night. And guess what? Next Tuesday, we're going to do it again Tuesday night because Sunday is the Super Bowl. I'm sitting here. Thank you, Jargo. I'll be back with you shortly. I'm chuckling inside. I'm giddy. I can't wait to get so many things off my chest. Before we start in any topics, though, I just want to preface what our main event's going to be. Obviously, Rock, Roman Reigns, and Cody Rhodes. The fact that Roman Reigns is being tug-of-warred by Cody Rhodes fans and the Rock fans is just an unbelievable, like, you can't put somebody like me as Roman Mark any higher than I am right now in the wrestling world. The Roman Reigns is being tug of war, people. We're going to be talking about that. TJS, what's going on?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. Is my audio synced up?
Yeah, you sound fine. Sounds like you might be in like a compacted room, but you sound fine.
Yes, I am indeed at my work desk because I invested in a webcam. My work sent me one. But anyway, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a nice show. These are banger topics as always, and let's get it going. Can't wait. WrestleMania is I'm hyped, and we don't even know many of the matches yet.
Nope. Stay tuned. Hey, there is a big press conference Thursday night, though, Thursday afternoon. So stay tuned, TJS. I'll be right back to you, Mike. What's up? Thanks for joining us. Yeah, I know you had a long day of work today, but here you are.
Yeah. Yes, here I am. If I'd have read half the chat messages we had going on there, I'd still be working. Thanks for having me back. Glad to be here. And you mentioned Super Bowl. I'll shoot it down right out the top. Chiefs plus the points, but take them on the money line.
There you go. If you bet football, you heard it from Mike. Mike, I'll be back to you. Of course, you always say something. I mean, Jargo always says something to rile up the chat, so we know we're getting that. TJS does once in a while, and Mike, so do you. And of course, there's me. Aaron's going to be the voice of reason tonight. What's up, Aaron?
I'm doing pretty good. It's been another interesting week in the world of wrestling. Just when I think things are starting to cool down and the news is dying down, we have another big story. Like we're only into the second month of 2024, and we've had enough news stories to cover a year, I feel like, between the Vince McMahon scandals, the Royal Rumble with CM Punk getting injured, and now The Rock seemingly taking Cody Rhodes' spot at WrestleMania. I mean, it's been a wild 2024 already. We're just getting started. The road to WrestleMania, as I mentioned on Twitter and X, it's definitely not boring. This is the most intrigued I've been about WrestleMania season in a very long time, just for the fact that fans are so divided on what's going on right now. And I'm really curious to see how this all plays out. I'm very excited for it. Looking forward to tonight's discussion. Virtue, let's get it going.
All right. So the first topic, let's just talk about CM Punk. Get him out of the way first since he's injured. But the reason why I want to talk about CM Punk is because he had his surgery. Right, he's got his arm in a sling. He's going to be out for several months, so I'm sure we'll see him hopefully before SummerSlam, sometime in the summer. Maybe him and Drew can work a program, Drew McIntyre, for SummerSlam. But just because Punk is out injured, and I know a lot of times you want to hide the wrestler so they have a surprise return after an injury. I don't think they should do that with Punk. I think Punk needs to be part of WrestleMania, part of WrestleMania weekend, injury or not. So we got a couple things at play here. My suggestions within the past week since he's been hurt, he could be the host, the 2-day host of WrestleMania. He could come out and do commentary. Chat, what are your thoughts? I think CM Punk should be part of WrestleMania, even though he's not going to have a match in his main event. Him being there could add to the main event scenario that maybe he'll get next year, possibly. Jargo, I'm going to start with you. They paid for CM Punk. He still brings in eyeballs, and people love him. He does commentary for MMA. He's always kind of been kind of funny and decent with wrestling commentary because there's a mic. It's CM Punk. What do you think here?
Make him the host. Make CM Punk the host of WrestleMania. That's my answer. I mean, it gives him a reason to be on TV going into WrestleMania. It gives him a reason to be at WrestleMania. And then after the main event, he can come out and he can do whatever he wants and call out whoever he wants, say he's going to win the Rumble and he's going to be there next year. He needs to be the host of WrestleMania. I'm fully on board with this and nobody's going to change my mind.
Now, obviously, I'm sure in a couple of months by then, he can be there. Not even necessarily being a sling, just being a suit, looking dapper.
Virtue, he could work. He could work. This is like, there are guys that have worked through tricep injuries forever. He worked through the Rumble with a tricep injury. How much do you want to bet? Why did CM Punk leave the WWE? Because he was sick and he was working hurt. Yeah. And The Rock coming in and we're not doing this again. No. We know how this story goes. Nope, they're going to bench him. Seth Rollins can barely freaking walk. But CM Punk can't work through a tricep injury? Nope, CM Punk hosts. Absolutely. It's got to happen.
I wouldn't mind seeing him getting physical there, doing something. But anyway, thanks for your input on that. Mike, you look like you're stewing over here. Go ahead. We're talking CM Punk. Should he be part of WrestleMania weekend?
No, I'm not stewing. I'm just taking it all and listening. Okay. And I think he should be part of it. Depending on how many and what the lineup's going to be on the mic, I think he should commentate. I actually like his commentating, and I wouldn't argue the host. I mean, I guess he could do as good a job as The Miz and the past hosts have done, but I would rather have him on commentary as long as they don't have too many people, because I don't know if he could talk over McAfee. So it depends on the setup of the booth, but I would say commentary, but I could live with hosting.
All right. Now, TGS, so obviously hosting, I think, would be great because he's going to be on there 2 nights. Gets a couple of promos on the entrance ramp or in the ring. I think he should commentate at least one match. And we don't know. We're going to be talking about this later. But I think the one match he should commentate, hands down, is the World Heavyweight Championship match that hopefully will feature Seth Rollins. Like, to me, that is a absolute no-brainer. What do you think, TJS?
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that if you're paying Punk, I'm sure he's making big money. Use him. Use him on commentary. I believe I read something about him potentially doing commentary on NXT. Hell, I might start watching NXT if Punk is on commentary. That's how much I enjoy Punk's work. Also, as a host, yes, I would definitely do that. I mean, didn't the Bella Twins host WrestleMania not too long ago or something? Or maybe it was a Hall of Fame thing where they beat up Bailey was the host, and then the Bella Twins beat her up. I say, like I said, if you're paying Punk, use him. It would hook me to watch NXT if he was just commentating. I would definitely use him. It's kind of like what Mike said, though. I don't know if you can use him in every match because, talking over McAfee and such. But I believe AEW does like the rotating commentary table on a per match basis sometimes. So, why not do that? Punk has to appear at WrestleMania, though. I know everyone was wanting him to wrestle, but this is the next best thing. Make him the host. Do something with him.
Yeah.
All right. And so thanks for that, TJS. Aaron, I think he also needs to not necessarily host, but I think he needs to be at Elimination Chamber. Those poor Australians have this big event down there. He needs to be there, cut a promo at least, and commentate a match. It sucks the timing. You know how they love to keep the wrestlers that are hurt away for that big return down the road, but not CM Punk. We already got that big return. What's your take?
Well,
Yes,
Virtue, there's your answer. That's what you do. You announce CM Punk is going to be the host of WrestleMania at Elimination Chamber.
Okay.
I don't know if that's going to happen. Like, I just feel bad for Australia, Perth. I feel like they're getting a lackluster event coming up here. No CM Punk after he was advertised. No Rock. No Roman Reigns. Like, it sucks.
Gunther.
No Gunther. Who knows if they're even getting a men's chamber match at this point? Like, nothing's even been announced for that. As far as CM Punk goes, like, I would like to see him make a couple of appearances. He doesn't need to be on commentary every week. I personally prefer the two-man commentary team. Now, we do have Monday Night Raw coming up pretty soon in Chicago on the road to WrestleMania. So I would definitely like to see him appear there. And maybe that's when he can announce he's going to be the host of WrestleMania. Maybe have him do commentary on Raw and then have him be the guest host at WrestleMania. Have him with his diet soda. Like, that was a great bit back when he was doing commentary. I would like to see him make a few appearances here and there. And also he can do stuff like with NXT. He can work with the talent. He doesn't necessarily have to be an on-screen personality. But yeah, I would definitely like to see him make a few appearances here and there when there's a good opportunity. Like, he's a great talker. You might as well utilize him whenever you can. And he can even help elevate a match. Like, he can come out there and cut a promo and help build up a match between Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins or whoever Seth is going to face at WrestleMania. And I like the idea of him doing commentary for that World Heavyweight title match. So hopefully we'll get to see him a little bit and he'll be back sooner than later, Virtue.
I feel like what we do at this point is it has to be a triple threat. Drew McIntyre has to be involved. CM Punk has to be ringside, and CM Punk screws Drew McIntyre. That's where I'm at with it.
Well, that's a possibility if Drew McIntyre is in the mix. I mean, it's hard to say what's going on with him right now. I mean, they teased McIntyre versus Punk, but last word was that he hasn't even signed a new contract yet, which seems crazy to me. Like, I would be shocked if he actually left the company.
If I'm Drew McIntyre, I'm not signing a contract either because my value keeps going up each and every single week.
Well, that's very true. Like, he's going to get a great deal regardless of where he goes. You have to think AEW would take him in a heartbeat.
But what do you want to go? What do you want to go there?
No, I don't think so.
Look what they're doing. Look what they're doing with Mr. Wardlow.
Mr. Wardlow.
That's what happens to the big men over there.
I'm glad you mentioned Drew McIntyre because there's two wrestlers here. I watched Monday Night Raw last night because we all wanted to see the fans hijack the show with deafening "We Want Cody" chants. Now, I heard "We Want Cody" chants. We saw signs allegedly WWE gave them, like, if there's a movement, every fan should have brought their own "We Want Cody," and it should have been louder. What I noticed about Raw last night, now, and I'm not saying Cody obviously is loved, right? Because we heard chants, we heard Rocky Sucks chants, they acknowledged it on TV. But you know what I remembered from Raw last night? The person that was most over with in arena was Jey Uso. Hands down, way louder than Cody. Granted,
you were there?
It was watched on TV. It wasn't even close, Aaron. You couldn't manipulate that. You saw everybody standing and doing the thing.
Oh yeah, they love Jey, but they love Cody too.
But Jey is he gets more of a pop last night clearly than Cody.
I wouldn't say it was clearly, but I mean they both got loud pops.
But see,
I think you're trying to spin your own narrative here. You have something against Cody Rhodes. You've been complaining about him all week on Twitter and X.
All the dirt sheets like Conrad and LaGreca, you're spinning your narrative to your fan base.
I don't think so.
All you post is pro Cody stuff. I don't see you putting.
I posted "We Want Rocky." I acknowledged the Rocky trend.
10 Cody.
That was the only one. Cody was trending for 3 days. Rock trended for 1 day. I'm sorry.
Cody winning.
I can't make stuff up.
Hey, listen, Mark. Cody winning the Royal Rumble YouTube video. What do you do? Oh, the dislikes. The most dislikes in history for The Rock.
Yeah.
The Rock. But yet it has way more views, way more than Cody winning the Rumble, way more thumbs up. But no, let's not talk about that.
Thank you, Disco Inferno.
What you're dismissing facts like Marks do. And you're dismissing Jey Uso getting what was a clearly
I'm not dismissing it. He got a great reaction.
More of a reaction. Go back and watch it. But you don't want, it's not part of the narrative that you guys want to spin because you have the diehard Cody marks that's your business and you got to cater to them. And I'm here to say it's an even playing field, folks. So what I want to talk about right now, before we talk about Rock, Cody, and Roman, as we're talking about Drew McIntyre and Jey Uso, because I heard Drew getting boos. That's what he healed, and not boos like Rocky boos because his character hurt Punk. Punk's out. Now he's getting in the mix with Cody. People are booing. Drew is a heel. I like that. It feels legit. And then Uso, it feels legit, organic. And to me, it's wow. During the Cody era of the weekend that just took place, his pop on TV, at least with the signs in the crowd, it just didn't seem enough. Go back to an Attitude Era with Austin. Cody wasn't even close to that level last night, and we'll talk more about that. Go ahead, TJ. I'm going to start with you. Thoughts on Jey, who I think right now in arena is clearly equal, if not more, over than Cody. Now, internet, no. Cody's ruling the internet right now. And then, of course, Drew McIntyre, which kind of an under the radar heel right now, doing some damn good work. I mean, I didn't care about Drew during the pandemic. He got the short end of the stick, right? Winning the Rumble, winning the championship. Now he's got an opportunity to get fans to care about him as a heel. Go ahead, TJS.
Yeah, so I don't know. I feel like Jey is doing, good work. And yeah, he is pretty damn over. But I think the difference in him and Cody is that once Cody wins the title, the fans are turning on him. Like, I have no doubt about that. Give it like a month after he wins the title and people are going to be booing him. He was heavily booed in AEW. And I just don't see this working out long term with Cody. But with Jey, yeah, I mean, I think the crowd does love doing his little dance. Is that what you call that? Dance?
Yes, let me fill you in on a little secret here. So Cody Rhodes was the top merch getter in 2023, according to WWE. Now, they actually split Roman merch and Bloodline merch into two categories. Cody took number one. January, Jey Uso, yeet, number one in merch on WWE Shop. Royal Rumble time, WrestleMania season, then it's Jey Uso. Cody has new shirts out.
There was a lot of outrage.
But let's not talk about that because Cody's supposed to be our guy, not Jey.
There was a lot of outrage when the yeet thing was not going to happen. When they took it away, people were going crazy. And yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'll have to go back and check, compare the reactions. But Jey Uso
not to that point yet.
You got to watch it first.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jey Uso is getting.
I was working. Come on, give me a break.
Jey Uso's getting massive pops, like you said. We'll have to see what happens. I definitely agree that people are starting to cheer Cody more because I guess the company is kind of telling you to cheer for Cody when they indirectly telling you to cheer for Cody. When with Jey, they're just like, here's a fun catchphrase, yeet, yeet, yeet. But with Cody, seems like they're just trying to inorganically formulate a reaction, but I don't know. I guess
with Cody, the only pop, like the loudest pop I ever hear, whoa, during his entrance song. But you know how, like, all those wrestling fans eat up all the entrance. Well, most of the top guys' entrance songs, obviously Rollins.
Yeah, I mean, I just, we'll get to it later, but I just wish the internet would just calm down.
Anything on Drew?
Oh yeah, I really enjoyed what Drew is doing. Like, at first I was worried.
Time out, TGS. Jey Uso has 2 shirts. Cody Rhodes probably has 5, 6.
Roman Reigns certainly has 5 or 6 shirts.
Yeah, 5 or 6
Bloodline shirts for
dozen.
Jey Uso. Dude,
wow.
And again, they split Roman and Bloodline shirts. For the longest time, they were lumped together. They split them. Cody takes the number 1 spot. Well done, WWE. That's how you manufacture a babyface. All right, TJS, you do have to comment on Drew. I don't think you did yet.
No. So yeah, Drew, very good work. I mean, this is the most entertained I've been by him in a long time. I was worried he was just going to be a generic heel, but it seems like him hurting Punk, it seems like it's really helped his character, which is kind of crazy. They're leaning into it, saying, "Yeah, I'm the one that put CM Punk out." So kind of crazy, but I like it. It keeps Punk. I mean, Punk doesn't need it, but it keeps Punk relevant while he's not on TV. Drew constantly mentioning him, so I mean, I like it.
Mike, thank you, TJS. Okay, Mike, speak on Jey Uso getting yeet chants and getting a pop from the crowd, and speak on, Tito mentioned earlier, Jey gets the rub from Roman and coming off the bloodline. I mean, that shows you the value of Roman Reigns in the bloodline and elevating Jey above not just a twin with his brother in a tag team. Go ahead, speak on Jey and Drew.
All right, I'll go Jey first. As I've said it before on this pod, actually the one episode where the guy rage quit us.
Who?
I can't remember who it was, but Jey Uso is over. I'm not going to argue with you on that. He is not over with me. I just don't. I do not like his in-ring work at all. And I mean, that's
too thug for you.
It's not even thug. It just doesn't. I don't even know what it means. I just don't like it. Hey, and he's over. I'm giving it to you. I'm not arguing. He's over. He's not over with me, and I'm not.
You're not getting him confused with Jimmy, right?
No, Jimmy's. I like Jimmy.
He's more of a casual fan too. Mike's more of a casual fan. So what does that tell you?
Jimmy is just a dopey heel sidekick, and he plays that part perfectly. But I'm getting off topic here. Back to Drew. Drew McIntyre, as a champion in the pandemic years, like you said, got the short end of the stick. I thought his character was stupid. Comes out with that 90-foot sword and cuts the ring ropes. Stupid. Could not stand Drew McIntyre. This version of Drew McIntyre reminds me of 80s, almost like Mid-South wrestling type heels, where the other night where he said, it happened to you and I'm not a spiritual man, but I prayed and it came true. That is money from a heel.
I slept like a baby.
Yeah, I slept like a baby. I mean, that was brilliant. And that is exactly how a heel is supposed to be. And Drew McIntyre is winning me over. So double thumbs up for Drew McIntyre in this part right now. And that's come from somebody who couldn't stand Drew McIntyre, including the Drew McIntyre that used to be, what was he, 180 pounds before he took some multivitamins and bulked up. So double thumbs up for Drew.
All right, Jargo. So we're in an era now. Before you get, this is going to be interesting with your take. But we have Drew McIntyre. You can make case 2 titles, so you can always make cases for guys being in the main event. But you have Drew McIntyre, you have Seth Rollins, you have Jey Uso, you have LA Knight, you have Cody Rhodes. Isn't it good for WWE to finally have a revolving door of potential top guys? Now, some people might not like some of the guys versus the other ones, but they're revolving doors based on what we see on TV lately. What is your take here with Jey and Drew?
Well, I mean, number one, I completely agree with Mike. But Mike, what we have to realize is we are not the Jey Uso target demographic. We are far too old. We are far too white to be the Jey Uso target demographic, right? So it's really hard for me to pass judgment here. I thought you were going to say something, Mike.
No. Oh, no. I agree with you. That's what I said. I know he's over. He's just not over with me.
Yeah. Well, and I'm the same way, but Virtue, I disagree with you a little bit because you brought up LA Knight and Jey Uso, and I feel like they're kind of in the same category here. They're really, really hot right now. They can flirt with the main event, but they are the top of that second tier of the roster, right? Like you have your top guys, and then I feel like you have guys like Jey Uso and you have guys like LA Knight that can get really, really hot for 6 months, and now LA Knight's not getting nearly the pop that he was 2-3 months ago.
But it's better to have that than not have that, which they went years without.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. But I also agree with TJS when he said that if Cody wins that title, the fans are going to turn on him, because I view Cody Rhodes right there. I view him the top of the second tier, flirt with the main event, maybe even win a world championship once in a while. I do not think that Cody Rhodes is the guy. I have never thought Cody Rhodes is the guy. Cody Rhodes is a really, really nice number 2.
So you're saying he's a B+ player
company around. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. By comparison, you bring up Drew McIntyre. I've always been very, very high on Drew McIntyre. I would feel comfortable building around Drew McIntyre as a monster heel. I've never liked him as a babyface. He's way too big to be an underdog babyface. It just doesn't work in any way, shape, or form, but he does have that presence where he can put his hair down and lower his brow a little bit, and he looks like a monster heel. And Mike was absolutely right. That promo that he cut on CM Punk. Yeah, it's really, really hard to get heat in 2024, but when you said, I prayed to God that you would get hurt, and you did, and the gods have shined upon me. There is something about that kind of heel that, yes, we can all uniformly come together and say, I want to see CM Punk kick this dude's ass because he just said that, right? Drew McIntyre is doing great work. I've always been a big, big fan of Drew McIntyre. Jey Uso, Intercontinental Championship, you bet. Flirt with the main event, you bet. He's a great guy for a monster heel Drew McIntyre to put down in his first title defense.
Now,
that's the level I view Jey Uso at. The thing about Jey Uso that people love, right? They love the yeet thing, just like they love the what thing, which is still the most annoying chant in the history of professional wrestling.
What?
So congratulations. We got a B-rate version of that. And they love the stupid thing, right? I mean, Swerve Strickland with Prince Nana, people doing the swerve dance, right? People love that stuff. And I don't think it makes you necessarily more over, but it can make you really, really hot for 3 to 4 months.
And he's going to be facing most likely his brother in Philadelphia. Perfect story there. I don't think fans will hijack that. I mean, I know those guys have to do with Roman, but I think it's going to be very telling on that's one of the matches I want to see that Philly crowd react to and how they react to it. So I'm intrigued by Jey and Jimmy, particularly Jimmy right now. Main event, Jimmy and Solo are still the little Roman clan, but Jey is on his own island for now, and it's just good to see the Usos split up from their identity that they were kind of stuck on as twin brother tag team guys for the longest time, which the New Day stuck in, and it's just good to see, even if it's one of those guys, Jargo, like you said, 3 to 6 months, upper mid card. Just
now Solo screams main event, long-term main event monster heel, but I just don't see Jey in that category.
Okay, Aaron. And I think some super chats came in.
TJS wanted to add something.
Oh, yeah,
and then we'll get to
sorry,
the
it's
super
a little
chats.
dark on your screen there. I didn't see your hand. I don't see you at
It's
all.
like a ghost.
But anyway, go. He wiped his camera off. But go ahead. All right, I see you. Go ahead.
Ring light is on. I just wanted to say really quickly, I know Jargo mentioned the Prince Nana dance and the Jey Uso dance and how that doesn't necessarily mean that you're over. I just want to direct everyone's attention to Fandango. So remember that. I mean, that dude beat Jericho at WrestleMania, and everyone was always doing the Fandango dance. And I mean, I don't even know where he is now. So
he's in Impact or TNA.
But let's be honest, though. The entrance was over. The song was over. He beat Jericho, but then when you don't get pushed by the company any longer, nobody's over.
True.
You know what I mean? But again, it is Johnny Curtis, so come on. I think Jay's above that.
Okay,
I agree.
Come on. All right, Aaron, back to you.
All right, so I got some stuff to say about all this, and we do have some super chats here. The This Guy Experience, shout out, sent in a $2 super chat. Thank you. Says, Mr. J took the words right out of my mouth. Sup, guys? Appreciate it. This Guy Experience, much love to you. We want Vayu Virtue, whatever that means. F. Dwayne, we want Luther Reigns versus Roman Reigns. Anybody remember Luther Reigns?
Hell yes.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, he sucked. The highlight of his career was on that Thanksgiving episode of SmackDown when he complained about the food and was asking for, well, not asking, he was demanding some food, because he had a very tough upbringing and he never got to have a proper Thanksgiving dinner. That was the highlight of Luther Reigns' career.
But he did have peas before.
He did have peas before. All right, Psycho Jet Black sent in a $5 super chat. Thank you, Psycho Jet Black. Says, congrats to Virtue and all the Dwayne Roman match supporters. That's number one. And number two, man, these Cody fans really piss off people like Tito, Rhonda, Virtue, G-Thang, etc. Yeah, Virtue has a hard-on for all the people that love Cody Rhodes. Like, it just boils his blood that fans are passionate about Cody Rhodes, which tells you that Jargo is wrong. Cody is the man.
First of all, people that like Cody that are respectful, great, right? I don't like Dave LaGreca doesn't piss me off. Conrad Thompson doesn't piss me off. But Cody fans that are pushing that narrative that they want Cody and Roman and F Dwayne and then send death threats to The Rock's daughter.
Well, that sucks. That's effed up.
Okay, yeah. See what I mean? It's getting that bad for them. Like, come on, dude. Like, that is just... See what I'm talking about? That stuff.
Hey, when fans are that passionate about Cody Rhodes that they will make death threats on somebody, like, that tells you people are really... too much. Really...
It's 2024 and it's on Twitter, Aaron. Come on, man. Like, we could get death threats for doing this podcast. That's especially when we're dealing with people with wrestling fan mentalities, right? And no disrespect to anybody. Don't at me, okay? I'm just saying we all know there are some wrestling fans that aren't necessarily connected with reality. And they are the idiots that are pushing this kind of nonsense. And it's nonsense on Twitter. For the love of God, it's freaking Twitter.
Yes, but my point is that Cody has such a devoted fan base, and every fan base has fanatics that are too into whatever they're watching or listening to or whoever they're supporting.
Isn't that the beauty of wrestling, though, really? Go to a football game with Bears gear on or Lions gear on or whatever to Buffalo and experience Bills Mafia. Go to the Black Hole and experience Raider Nation. That's what fans are supposed to do. If I'm cheering for Roman at WrestleMania, let's say it's Roman and Cody happens, and the guy next to me is cheering for Cody Rhodes, you bet I'm going to yell just a little bit louder to piss him off because I want Roman to remain the champion for another 1,200 days. But so I think that makes it you don't want everybody supported because then you have nothing but a company full of faces.
Right.
That's what I love where, hey, a Cody fan should say Dwayne Johnson sucks. That's not me saying that. I like the Cody fan. And then I would say to the Cody fan, no, you suck. Because I agree with you guys. Cody's good, but I don't think Cody can carry the torch just because his dad never won the title.
Look at Cody. Cody is a guy that dresses like a superstar. Let me say this about Cody. He dresses
like a heel. He dresses like a heel.
No, he dresses like a world champion.
Yes. He's a condescending prick when he uses his
big
words.
You have some kind of vendetta with Cody Rhodes. I don't know what it is because he's a threat to your boy Roman Reigns.
No, listen, Aaron. I said that Cody was going to beat Roman Reigns at SummerSlam last year. It never had. The match never happened. I'm ready for Roman.
You knew it wasn't going to happen.
Virtue is exactly right.
Go ahead.
The best version of Cody Rhodes, the Cody Rhodes that we see now in WWE, was when Cody Rhodes went heel and joined the Bullet Club in New Japan Pro Wrestling, lighting his cigars with $100 bills. He is a pretentious prick who is so self-absorbed with himself and making you people buy his BS. That is Cody Rhodes. Oh yeah, and he owes me money.
Well, guess what? Again, you said it right, Jargo. You're not the target audience.
Cody Rhodes, say it right. He owes me money.
Cody.
How much?
Well, Vince McMahon owes me money. He knocked over my popcorn at the 1999 Royal Rumble, and that was like $7 in 1999.
Go ahead, Aaron. Finish the super
like
chat because we got to get to the main topic. So go ahead. No more interruption.
Okay. Psycho Jet Black sent in a $5 super chat. Thank you for that. Says, Paper later. Why aren't the Dwayne fans as loud as the Cody fans for the WrestleMania match? Are most Dwayne fans just casuals, don't watch wrestling? Virtue, you would argue that they're a vocal minority and it's not the mass audience.
I think the Dwayne fans aren't in attendance yet because the match isn't even official. Like the people that only like Rock, that will go away from wrestling when he's not there, they're not at Raw last night. They're not. They need to be pulled in. And the thing is, WrestleMania sells out no matter who's headlining it anymore. So it doesn't matter. But that reach across the world, that box office, that like Rock still brings a value. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. They can pull this off and make everybody happy, but that, I don't know. Just go ahead, Aaron. I want to get to the main event. So,
all right. Well,
don't ask me questions.
We're almost talking about it now. We're already getting into it. We want Vayu Virtue says, will Philadelphia boo Rock and Roman out of the arena? I mean, Cena reaction. I don't know, because I have to see how things play out between now and WrestleMania. To WWE's credit, they might be able to make this all work. And in the end, people are satisfied with Rock versus Roman. They're satisfied with whatever Cody is doing. They got 2 months to figure this out. Like if they do a poor job with creative, then there is a decent chance Rock could get booed. But I'm going to give Triple H the benefit of the doubt. And this is what I said on my other stream. We need to see how it plays out. We need to give them the opportunity to sell us on everything for WrestleMania and give people a reason to produce the correct reactions. And regardless of how people react, it's going to be fun to watch. Like, hell, if they get booed out of the building, it'll be entertaining. I was entertained by Bill Goldberg and Brock Lesnar because the crowd crapped on it. So at least for me, I'll find it to be entertaining. But I know they want The Rock to get cheered. And in order to do that, I think with good creative, they'll be able to pull it off. And when The Rock's actually out there on TV cutting promos with Roman, I think people will get into it. You know, he's The Rock. The Rock knows how to manipulate the audience. And at the end of the day, I think he'll be able to. Now, you know what could happen? They'll cheer Roman Reigns over The Rock. Yes. Like, I could see that happening as well. You don't think so, TJS?
No. I mean, I know you guys mentioned the Dwayne fans aren't there, but here's the thing. Quote Jeff Meacham. If you're a pro wrestling fan, you're a fan of The Rock. That's just how it is. Like, the people that are chanting, "We want Cody," you can bet your ass that they all jump to their feet as soon as they hear The Rock's music. Like, I don't think that Rock is going to get booed. I'm sorry, I just can't see that happen. I mean, this is the same guy that, like you said, Aaron, he manipulates the crowd and he can get them to chant basically anything. Like, I think of the "You are an asshole" chant. That thing went for like 10 minutes last time. So, yeah. I mean,
he's hard at work right now every night with Gewurz. They're trying to figure this thing out. That's his boy. That's his little writer.
Yeah. So give them time. And just to talk about Drew McIntyre, he's doing an awesome job as a heel. I mean, this is the best he's been maybe in his entire WWE career. He is on fire right now. Love the references to CM Punk and the T-shirt and everything. Like, Drew McIntyre right now is doing, in my opinion, the best work of his career. Jey Uso's great. I'm not taking anything away from him. He's right up there with Cody. Like, they are both capable of being the top babyface if WWE needs them. The reason I defend Cody is that he dresses the part and he goes out, does the media, and that's something not a lot of guys can do, but Jey Uso can. And Jey Uso is able to bring in all different people from all different walks of life. Like, Jey Uso is just a fun guy. He's great in the ring, and he could be a top guy if they needed him in that position. Like, if more people got injured and they needed Jey Uso to be the world champion, Jey Uso could be the world champion. Virtue?
Jey Uso. I don't give a damn what the tribal chiefs say.
Yeah, and he's a good talker
that's
too.
All I'm gonna say.
He's charismatic, and he's got the catchphrase, which, I mean, people like it, and the yes thing lasted for a decade. It's still going. And Jargo, I know you're annoyed by it, but the what chant lasted a long time. So some things are timeless. The Ric Flair woo, the yeet thing, whether you like it or not, it's probably here to stay. Just like LA Knight's, although he's cooled off a little bit, but we'll talk about him another time. We got some more super chats here. Geez. Mr. Anderson sent in a $5 super chat. Thank you, Mr. Anderson. Says, best version of Cody putting bags over faces like virtues. Jeez.
That's not very nice.
Yeah. You got a picture with Cody Virtue. I saw that on
Ring of
on
Honor
Twitter
champion.
X.
That was back in the Bullet Club days, right, Jargo?
The best version of Cody over self-absorbed Cody.
Black hair Cody.
Yeah. Yeah, that was like 2017, 2018. And G Thang sent in a $5 super chat. And then Virtue could take it from here. The reality is that The Rock versus Roman Reigns is the bigger match, and it's programmed sheep that are crapping on it because social media tells them to. Virtue probably loves that super chat. So, Virtue, I'll throw it over to you now.
So we obviously have this drama. Cody won the Royal Rumble for the second year in a row. Pointed at the WrestleMania sign. Rock said, I'm challenging you. I'm challenging you. I'm sure by that particular time they knew Punk was hurt. Original plans with Punk, WrestleMania changed. I ain't even worried about, the disappearance of Brock Lesnar, right? Like, because that wasn't going to be anything main event. But Punk gets hurt. The Rock's planted the seed before the Royal Rumble happened with, or should I sit at head of the table? Then he joined the board. So let's be honest here. Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns, Cody's going to finish his story somewhere at some point against Roman Reigns. Like, I believe that they're still going to do that. Jeff Meacham last year petitioned, hey, this has got to happen at Madison Square Garden. Man, if they could be finding a way to book Madison Square Garden at some point this year, and they can just, that could just solve everything. But why can't they make everybody happy? You have 2 nights of WrestleMania, okay? Seth Rollins is banged up right now, so you would think that he would get the night 1 main event slot, being the world champion. You could put a female match there too. Why can't you do both of these matches to make everybody happy? Cody challenges Roman, and then Roman and The Rock on the other night. Problem solved. Roman loses the title to Cody. The story's finished on the grand stage. All of those fans are happy going forward. They can promptly turn on Cody 3 months later, like it's going to happen. And then you can do the Tribal Chief Bloodline story, which far preceded the 2-year story, finish the story of Cody coming back to WWE and being in Madison Square Garden, watching the WWE title taken from my dad, and blah, 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 blah. This Bloodline thing started as soon as Roman. That's on my screen.
You did. You're that worked up. You're that obsessed. Cody Rhodes haunts you in your sleep.
As soon as Roman Reigns became the tribal chief, said he's the head of the table, we started saying a match with him and Rock. Well before Roman had the longevity of this title reign. We never thought it was going to be this long. And no, that match doesn't need the title. But it's still a prop to make it seem like it's even bigger and even more. And to me, I just don't understand how Rock comes in. See, WWE handled it poorly because of the way Cody just kind of conceded to The Rock. Like, it doesn't make sense to win the Royal Rumble, basically say you're going to challenge Roman, and then you just step aside. And like Bully Ray said on his podcast, they have to say the why. Cody has to explain why this decision was made. And we got a big press conference coming up Thursday. I want the 2 nights. I want Roman to make history. I'll eat that up forever if Roman's the guy that wrestles 2 nights. Yes, you take a risk that night 1 he gets hurt, but Roman, even at the part-time rate where he doesn't work as frequently, he seems like he avoids major injuries and he comes right back. So we got to go around the horn here, because poor Seth Rollins and all this, granted he has that injury with some uncertainty, but he was the workhorse. And he put Roman down first as the Hollywood champion. So like everything Roman said back to Seth, I don't have a problem with that. Those 2 guys are buddies. They text each other. They knew what they were going to say. Seth got kind of a little shot in again on Raw just to kind of stab back at Roman. That's water under the bridge. I know people get mad about that, but that didn't bury Rollins, because Rollins just says, hey, I'm the workhorse champion. You're not. And that's what they got to go with. I would love to still see Roman and Rock night 2, like it should be, because you can't come this far and not do it. And then Cody and Rollins night 1, Cody wins that title. You got Damian Priest that can cash in too. There are so many moving parts here. And if they don't give the Cody fans what they want, could they hijack what should not be hijacked? The bloodline, the culmination of the bloodline. It just boggles my mind that there is a chance that this bloodline match can get hijacked because of those diehard of the diehard Cody fans that are on Twitter all the time bitching when they don't get their way. TJS, I'm going to start with you here. It's insane. Like everybody's numbers are good. You could say Cody looks favorable because of all the negativity and thumbs down on the Rock videos, but yet the Rock's videos, as they always do, are getting millions of views and still a lot of thumbs up compared to other videos that Cody's on. And I'm just using that as a small sample size. It's insane that wrestling fans can't come together and just wait the process. Vince McMahon is not there anymore. This power play move, if that's what you want to call it, by The Rock, got everybody not to talk about the allegations, at least for now, because we're so worked up about who Roman Reigns is going to defend his title against. So job well done to The Rock. People may hate him and give death threats to his daughter. He just did Endeavor and TKO and WWE a favor. Then now, together forever. Go ahead, TJ.
Oh, yeah. Man, I am so tired of hearing about finishing the story. Like, so tired of hearing about it. Man, I mean, there's a few things that I want to bring up. The first one is the people that are saying that Cody Rhodes is going to be the next Daniel Bryan. Okay, so wait, I don't think that's accurate because even if Cody still challenges Seth Rollins at WrestleMania, he is still main eventing WrestleMania and winning a world championship. Like, I do not see the comparison. Bryan is like 5'8" or something and was a legitimate underdog. Cody is not. Cody took Roman to his limit last year at WrestleMania also. He's winning a lot. He's won 2 Rumbles.
He beat Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, he beat Brock Lesnar twice. He's not the underdog. Oh, my God. I can't stand it. I also want to mention the fact that people think that WWE cares about these dislikes. They do not. Because, like you said, Virtue, yeah, it's the views that matter. WWE wants you to react. Whether or not if you go to the shows, hijack the show, chant "We want Cody," they don't care. All they care about is that your ticket was sold and you showed up. They just want reactions. And The Rock is going to get that. Like I said, everyone is jumping up on their feet every time The Rock's music plays. And this legitimately is a once-in-a-lifetime matchup. So I don't know why these dorks are wanting Cody to be in the main event, because we can get that anytime. We can get, like you said, Virtue, if they book Madison Square Garden, we can get Roman versus Cody.
Yeah, we still want Cody to finish the story against Roman.
Yes. Yeah. Like, I just want The Rock. We were claiming, like, last year we were saying, oh, we want The Rock. It's Hollywood. This is the perfect time. We want to see The Rock. I don't know what is wrong with these people. I mean, I get it. It's not going to be a 30-minute match. Probably not. It's not going to be a wrestling match. Real quick, I just want to say, think about Hogan versus Rock. I know it's a different era, but the crowd is going to eat it up, man. Like,
yeah. Now, let me say something here. The problem, the reason this is all a problem to begin with is because Cody Rhodes won the Royal Rumble. If he did not win the Royal Rumble, I don't think anybody would have been upset about this. Like, everybody would have been like, holy crap, The Rock is back. Rock versus Reigns. TJS?
Well, in that case, I just say to have him challenge for the world title. And because he already told Roman, not at WrestleMania. Yeah. I'm not fighting you there. So, I mean, I don't know why everyone is like upset about this. I think Seth made a convincing argument when he said, do you want the Hollywood title or do you want the Workhorse title? Yeah. That's convincing enough for me. One more thing, Aaron. I think if they really do have to come down an explanation and you want to make Rock a heel, then just have Cody come out there and say, sorry, guys, The Rock is on the board, and he acknowledge it on TV. Have them say that Rock made the power move and bring back Hollywood Rock.
Yeah. I mean, there are ways WWE can get out of this with good creative. I mean, I'm perplexed as to the whole deal. Like, did WWE know Rock was doing the match before the Royal Rumble? If so, why did they book Cody Rhodes to win? They could have booked somebody else to win. That whole thing is perplexing, and I think fans just want an answer. So, yeah, as mentioned earlier, we need to have a good reason from Cody as to why he decided to let The Rock have the spot. With good creative, they can get out of this. And like I said earlier, they can get the proper reactions that they want for WrestleMania. And, they could Virtue go the route you said, which I I am a fan of. Like, I would be happy with that, with Roman Reigns pulling double duty. Roman will lose to Cody Rhodes. He'll beat The Rock, and then that sets up SummerSlam. Roman Reigns can take off a couple months, and you can do the rubber match, Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns 3 at SummerSlam, and you got your SummerSlam main event right there. And as far as Seth Rollins goes, you have the men's Elimination Chamber match. The winner of the Chamber match faces Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight title. So there are ways they can get out of it. If they decide to go with Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins, you can always have Damian Priest cash in Money in the Bank, and then you can maybe let Roman Reigns beat Hulk Hogan's record, which is going to be in September. And then Survivor Series, you can book it at Madison Square Garden and have Cody Rhodes finish the story at MSG in the arena where Dusty Rhodes had thought he was winning the title but did not. So there are ways they can get through this. And again, we got to see how the process plays out and give them a chance to fix all this and make everybody happy.
TGS, did you have anything else before I
real quick, I just wanted to say that you guys are going to laugh, but I wouldn't be shocked if Roman beats Bruno's record at this point. I really wouldn't be.
You got to say Hogan first. You can't go beyond that until you beat the guy that's next. Yeah.
Remember, it's going to be like another 4 years before he gets
so 4 years from that's like 8 matches from now, Aaron, with Roman's schedule.
Oh, by the way,
I mean, come on.
I need to point this out. I don't go to that. What's that Tony Khan site he loves to go to that has all the wrestling match results?
Oh, Cage Match.
Match.
Yeah, somebody screenshotted me on Twitter, X. Roman Reigns has 999 career wins in WWE. Dude, just had to throw that out there. But, all right, who wants to go next, Jargo or Mike? Because I know you both are kind of sitting there.
Mike or Mike?
Mike or Mike. All right, Mike, go ahead.
Me?
Yes.
All right. You guys are the experts. I've said that. I'm more watching it from a casual fan. Did I miss
Tony Caitlin?
Did I miss them? Did I miss something? Because Cody has not decided yet, correct? Or did he do that last night and I haven't got there yet?
Technically,
all right.
No.
All right. So what is wrong with the way they're going about it? Because personally, perhaps it's all the injuries. I mean, they weren't planning on Punk getting hurt at Royal Rumble. Seth got hurt before, so now it's like, all right, is his meniscus going to be good enough? What can we get out of Seth? Is Seth going to be able to do this, that, or the other thing? So now they bring The Rock in, and somebody touched on it earlier.
Cody's dog.
Somebody touched on it earlier that The Rock took a heck of a lot of heat off of TKO, Endeavor, the McMahons, and all that stuff that went on there. So The Rock comes in, and all that my TV showed on SmackDown was The Rock came in the ring and they went eye to eye and they went off, they faded black and went off the air. So I think they're still trying to figure things out as to who can wrestle. And like 3 or 4 weeks ago, I said on my podcast, WWE almost has too many stars, but now with the injuries, it's almost a good thing that they do have too many stars because now you can still plug and play, where you want to go here. What are we going to do there? And what I'll leave you on, I love The Rock. If you guys want to wait 10 minutes, I could probably go dig up my Brahma Bull shirt that I had from 20 years ago. Cause I was
You got a tattoo?
No, I don't. So this is not me being anti-Rock, but I'm real big. The only reason I watch wrestling is for the storylines. And some of the crazy stuff they do in the ring, that's phenomenal, whatever. But I'm a storyline guy. There's no way Rock can beat Roman Reigns. I personally don't see why that is good for business. So why is it necessary for Roman to beat The Rock? I would almost like to see The Rock come in as almost like a Paul Heyman assistant and be part of the bloodline or something instead of winning the title.
Because you got to do it in the mob and the mafia and anything like that, and the tribe and the islander. You still have to go through the process to get that spot. And The Rock is a bigger star than Roman, and everybody knows it. And even though we know it should happen, and let's be honest, they're positioning The Rock like he still could beat Roman and take the head of the table.
I'd be
right.
fine
The
with
power play. That's what the dirt we get.
Right. And that's and like
The Rock could barely beat up Jinder Mahal. I mean,
he
in
was
10 seconds.
He was blown up.
Gassed.
Yeah, he was gassed.
Oof.
And then the last thing, and then I'll let Mr. J finish it. It's I'm big, and I hate when people say, "Oh, Roman's only defended the title 3 times." You know what? Like Jim Rome says, he's on vacation again. Somebody says, "You're on. How come you take so many vacations?" Because I can. So why should Roman be out there every single week? How can I miss you if you won't go away? He comes in once a quarter, and the place blows up. I think Roman Reigns should be till he dies. I think he should have the title because that's how good he is. Because they don't overuse him. I love Seth Rollins, the song they sing, but as anybody knows, or is it just me? It's not as vocal. It doesn't last as long as it used to because people are like, okay, we do this every single week.
Yeah.
Whereas Roman's not there every single week. And I love
he is. Everybody stands up.
Acknowledge me.
Phone's on too.
Yeah.
Special attraction.
That's all.
He's come a long way. He's come a long way. Thanks, Paul Heyman. Okay, thank you, Mike. All right, Jargo. Dusty Rhodes, if he was in Cody's spot today, would he choose that Roman championship or would he go for the workhorse?
Ooh, that's a good one.
I'm asking you that. Can you answer that?
That is a good one. Well,
we don't know Dusty.
Let me flip it.
Yeah.
Let me flip it. Has he won all of the other championships that he has won throughout his career, and now he's going after one final championship that he hasn't won? Or is this just like, Dusty's been with the WWE now for, 30 years. Like, which championship would he go after? Because I think my answer is different depending on the two questions.
I don't know. Just say that he had his career, never won a championship in WWE, but both existed. See, both didn't exist back then when he was teased the superstar Billy Graham thing, and it just never, but they both exist today.
Well, here's the thing, right? Right here, the workhorse championship would be the Dusty championship.
What one would Bret Hart have went for?
No question. But if Dusty had the career that Dusty had and he was in the WWE for one final run and he could go after one championship, he would want the WWE championship, which is the one that Roman has. So, it kind of depends on which way you want to phrase the question. You know what I mean? I don't know. I feel like the important thing here, more than anything else, with the reaction that we have gotten, is we have to make The Rock look good. Like, above everything else, that is the number one priority now. Everybody's excited about The Rock being back. I'm excited that Brian Gewirtz is back because Brian Gewirtz is the best writer that the WWE has ever had, and that's why The Rock stole him and took him with him to Hollywood. I feel like Dwayne needs to come out and say, Cody, I appreciate that you have stepped aside and you're going to let me have this match with Roman Reigns. But you won the Royal Rumble, so you are still going to have your opportunity to win the WWE Championship. However, you are also going to have the opportunity to win the World Heavyweight Championship, and we unify these belts at WrestleMania 40. Night 1, you do The Rock versus Roman for the Universal Championship, and you do Cody versus Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship. And the two winners being Cody and Roman face off on night 2, and Cody can finish his damn story. But that has to be said by The Rock because it's the board. I went to the board. I saw this reaction from all you people, and we are going to give Cody the opportunity to finish the story, and I'm going to get my match with Roman Reigns. WrestleMania 20 ended with both championships being held up in the center of the ring. WrestleMania 30 ended with both championships being held up in the center of the ring. WrestleMania 40 ends with Cody finishing his damn story and winning both championships, holding them up in the ring before Damian Priest cashes in and takes it all away from him, and now he can write another story.
Jargo, I think that's a fantastic idea. The one thing I could see people not liking is unifying the titles again, but if the champion is full time on both shows, then I think that's fine. A fighting champion
And we don't
appears on
need
both
two
shows.
world champions. We don't need two world champions anymore, especially with the Netflix deal. But we're not doing 250 house shows a year anymore, right? Like we can get away with one world champion on both shows.
Yeah.
I say we unify the damn titles.
The reason the titles were split like that, or a new title was created, I should say, is because one champion was not appearing on television, so they wanted to have a new champion who appears on the show. So you can have the winner here be on both shows. TJS.
Well, two things really quick. First thing, why haven't we discussed the possibility of Cody going after the NXT title? Ilya Dragunov. Really?
I mean, are you trolling us because you also brought up Hulk Hogan possibly being in the Royal Rumble a few weeks ago?
Let me sell you. NXT was
I don't think you can.
NXT was Dusty Rhodes' baby, right? Why wouldn't he want to be the champion of that brand? Just saying. Well, the second thing.
Even Jargo, who's not the biggest Cody fan, I think he's shaking his head at that one.
I think they learned from the whole Charlotte Rhea thing.
The second thing, in all seriousness, I think maybe an argument for. Well, I mean, if Cody does not choose Roman, then this argument doesn't apply. But if he does, he could say something, a counter argument to Seth. He could say, I'm going to win I'm going to win Roman's title, and I'm going to make it the workhorse title. I'm going to outwork you, Seth, and you'll be holding the Hollywood title. I'm going to turn this into the workhorse title. That's just a counter.
My fear is we're not going to get a Seth Rollins singles match at WrestleMania. That knee is too hurt that we're going to end up having to do a triple threat, and that's why we're heating up Drew McIntyre so hot.
Yeah,
that it just feels like that's kind of where we're going.
Injuries suck, man. They really enhanced all these dilemmas.
Yeah.
All right. So is that, before I pass it over to Aaron, are you three good with all of this right now? Well, you can always raise your hand.
Yeah. I mean, real quick, I just want to say that WrestleMania has been turned on its head, and that sucks. Like with all these injuries and.
So yeah, but they're gonna make it work. They're gonna have the highest viewership in the history of the company.
In a weird way, though, it's almost good,
right?
Because they have so much talent that there was going to be one odd man out. As you look at all these groups of talent, there was one extra guy, and now you sit out CM Punk, and everything kind of lines up.
And we haven't even mentioned the Viper yet.
Oh, yeah, Randy Orton. Where does he fit in? Where does LA Knight fit in with all this? Probably AJ Styles.
Can I go on Randy Orton? Ooh. I know what Randy Orton should do. I know what he should do. He should lose to Kazuchika Okada. If you're going to put Okada into a match at WrestleMania and you have him for one match to make him feel like he is a big deal, this guy is a main event player, the guy that he has to beat is Randy Orton. There's nobody else on the roster that works with. He has to beat Randy Orton in his first big
and Randy Orton would put him over.
I think we're getting Randy and Solo.
Absolutely.
We'll see.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. It's probably Randy Orton versus Solo, but I like that idea too. Jargo's got some solid ideas tonight. I mean,
he's cooking.
Like we said, yes, he is. There's ways they can get out of this. There's ways that they can make this all work, and we'll see if they can come up with some good creative stuff. Mr. Anderson sent in a $5 super chat. Thank you for that. Says, I was joking. I really like Virtue, but the best thing that can happen for Cody is Roman spearing him until he knocks him back into his Stardust gimmick. Wow.
I teased with the Stardust thing in the past. I don't want that.
I mean,
Cody, unless he's a heel and he does that to F with a baby face or something. That'd be the only time.
Cody is just generic CAW number 4 to me.
To his credit, he's evolved a lot. Like he was in 2009, like he definitely needed something. He was missing something, but I think he got it when he left.
Look, I goofed, with it a year ago. He's Lex Express 2.0. Cody is above that. Like he's definitely above. And I said he's somewhere between Lex Express and Daniel Bryan Yes Movement. And so Cody, to me, Aaron, this is how they have to get out of it. It's either going to be night one, Cody versus Seth. Maybe like Jargo said, throw Drew in there because of Seth's knee. And that's just how it's going to have to be. And they're going to roll the dice for night 2, which is going to be Roman and The Rock.
Yeah.
But I really think if they were smart, they need to have Roman work both nights, do the Cody match night 1, have the bloodline come out to interfere, but they don't even get to the ring because The Rock stops them. So it's technically can still be a clean finish.
Right.
There's just a slight distraction out in the aisleway. Boom, Cody hits Crossroads, becomes a champion. Roman is devastated in the middle of that ring with Rock standing, looking at him, setting up the next night.
He's got to get his payback.
Then everybody's going to be like, wow, that's it. We got to tune into this tribal chief match because they will be invested. If they do something like that night 1, Cody gets his moment. Night 2, Rock and Roman they'll be invested for.
Remember when Randy Orton took out Stephanie before WrestleMania? Triple H was there. That shot of him, he's just fuming at the mouth, like he was so angry. Like they do that. You close out night 1 with Roman Reigns there. He lost his title, and he's just so angry at The Rock. Like that builds up heat for night 2.
And they got to be careful if they did that because you don't want to take away from Cody's moment.
Yes, true.
But like I'm telling you, man, but at least you could get past this negativity. Will they do that? I still think they're leaning towards that Rollins main event and then Rock and Roman, and they're just going to do it. And Thursday night will give us a clearer picture. But go ahead, Aaron.
All right, we do have a $5 super chat here from Walter. Shout out to Walter Cruz, who sent in $5. He said, whether or not we're happy about it, leave Ava the F alone. She has done nothing to do with it. Death threats over a scripted show. What the F is wrong with people? I mean, we all agree that is crossing the line. Like, you bully somebody and say hateful things. And again, people, when they're behind a computer, they feel like they could say whatever they want and there's no consequences. And they go on there and you private message somebody and you tell them to go kill themselves, that kind of stuff. And it's easy to say it when it's behind a computer screen. Like the lesson here is don't be a jerk. Don't say something that you wouldn't say to somebody's face. And they're just trolling too. I don't think anybody sincerely wants her or The Rock to die, but they're just going to, be jackasses and say stupid stuff to try to upset somebody. And it's a scripted TV show. No need to. I mean,
props to the Johnsons for like really taking all of that Vince negativity and getting death threats and Rocky sucks. I mean, I have more respect for The Rock now. And people want to say power play, came in, head of the table on the board, and he's power playing his spot. Dude, I'm telling you, it's exactly what that company needed after what we had to endure the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, for sure. And, with the comments, too, people say die, Rocky, die. And I think some fans get carried away. So they probably said die, Ava, die, or something like that in her DMs or something, and she took it as a death threat. But it could just be fans getting too wrapped up in it. Some fans can be on the spectrum and, they got their issues. Some, not all, but there are some that might get a little too carried away, and
some break into wrestlers' homes.
I was going to bring that up, the Sonya Deville thing. Like
some fans that are just not in the right headspace will go on Twitter and they get too worked up into this fantasy world of wrestling, and they go after people. So at the same time, if you're a celebrity, you got to be able to handle that too. Like you're going to have your critics, you're going to have your obsessed fans that are going to, if you're a woman, you're going to have creepy guys that are going to come in your DMs. That's just part of the business that you're in. So on one hand, you need to not be a jerk, and on the other hand, if you're a celebrity, you got to be able to handle whatever the comments are, and maybe just go on Twitter and tweet and don't read the comments. That's usually the best way to go. We got a couple more super chats here. We got one from Wrestling's Biggest Fan. He said, great show as always. Will we see Braun Breaker with Bo Dallas? I mean, never say never, right? Like, I don't know if they're ever going to use Bo Dallas again. He might have just been brought back for Bray Wyatt, but, that is something you could do. Maybe even a little tribute tag team to Bray Wyatt when Braun Strowman comes back.
You covered the NXT show, right, Aaron?
On Sunday, yes.
Yeah. So there was the one little creepy vignette, right? That was like 10 seconds with like talking about the different faces and whatnot. My brain immediately thought that was Bo Dallas.
I think that's Okada.
I Okada going to NXT just seems
Exactly.
baffling to me.
Yeah, I mean, I could see it happening though, but I mean, I like the idea of him going just straight to the main roster for WrestleMania and you know, fighting somebody of significance. I don't know if it's going to be Randy Orton or not, but I mean, he could end up going to NXT. Samoa Joe did, and Shinsuke Nakamura did. Finn Balor, a lot of guys went through NXT, and you know, they could put him in there with Dragunov and let those guys have like a killer match to set off his career.
None of those, but all of those guys I can explain going to NXT. There's no logical reason why Kazuchika Okada should go through NXT. He's like AJ Styles. Like everybody that knows who Kazuchika Okada is, including the WWE higher-ups, guys like Triple H, know that this guy is on the short list of the best professional wrestlers in the world. I don't think that you sent him to NXT. Like, there's no logical reason to go to, and like Nakamura, people, well, why did Nakamura go to NXT? Because he didn't know how to work American TV cameras. That's what Nakamura went to NXT for. He had to learn how to work American TV cameras. Okada learned that in TNA.
And AEW.
Well, he learned it in TNA. I mean, he credits Vince Russo for teaching him how to work American TV cameras. And if you ask Vince Russo about it, he will go on and on about it for like 45 minutes, like it's the greatest thing that he's ever done. Well, and he very well might be right.
Imagine that. Yeah. Crazy, huh?
Sami Zayn was great on the independent scene with the Generico thing. They had to see how he would work without the mask. I truly feel like that's the biggest reason. Kevin Owens is one that I don't necessarily have an explanation for.
I think
but like Balor, it was purely size.
Strowman went right to the main roster.
Well, yes and no, but Strowman was also part of the Rosebuds and was trained down at NXT by Paul White. So, I mean, you know, that certainly helps.
Yeah, I'd like to see Okada versus Gunther if Randy Orton isn't an option. What do you think about that, Jargo?
I think if you do something like that, you're putting a cap on Okada at an Intercontinental Championship level.
Is it a good start
in the world? No, he has to come in and beat somebody of incredible relevance.
You don't think
right
Gunther's
off the bat.
Guy?
And no, I don't. I think there's only about 3 or 4 guys on that roster right now that are in that classification, and they're Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, and Randy Orton.
Like, I don't think
it has to be a perennial main event player to signify, holy crap, this dude is a big deal. Like, I'm such an Okada guy that for me, his first appearance would be against a Randy Orton. He would kick out of an RKO and Rainmaker that dude so that you didn't see him for 6 months. Like, I would put Okada over immediately and put him over as strong as you possibly can.
I mean, you definitely want to push him, but I think the problem is, like, you're a huge Okada fan, but he goes out there cold with no real introduction. A lot of people are going to be like, who is this guy? Like, they don't know who he is.
And that's why he has to beat somebody like
but I think Gunther would get the job done. I've been saying this for a while. Gunther, when somebody beats him, they're going to be a made man. I think Gunther is a top level guy at this point. Like, I think as far as credibility goes, he's arguably above Roman Reigns at this point because he doesn't need all the outside
2 million. With the 2 million fans that watch WWE on a weekly basis, that's not what we're doing with Kazuchika Okada. We are turning like him into a Japanese god so we can sell out the Tokyo Dome. That's what we want to do. Beating Gunther does nothing for him. He has to be a perennial main event player.
I think Gunther's anyway, there,
so it doesn't matter.
What about Drew McIntyre? You think Drew McIntyre?
No. We know what's going to happen. It's just going to be Okada versus The Miz.
I mean, you're lucky if Okada feuds with somebody above The Miz, quite frankly.
That's what it's
in all honesty, I feel like they have set it up for Cody Rhodes. And I feel like that's what this entire Nakamura feud has been. That's what all this talk about chaos has been, because that's the name of the feud that Nakamura started and Okada took over when Nakamura left. Like, I feel like all the seeds have been planted for a Cody versus Kazuchika Okada feud.
Well, we could talk about Okada more if he even ends up going to WWE. That's still very much up in the air at this point. We'll see what happens. We do have a few more super chats here. Okay, so Psycho Jet Black bringing us some humor tonight, as he typically does. He sent in $2. He says, how about Roman Reigns versus Baron Corbin and Cody Rhodes versus Jinder Mahal?
Corbin beat him.
Corbin did beat him.
Corbin beat him. So
yes,
yeah,
and put dog food on him.
Revenge.
Yeah, I mean,
if
Baron
you
Corbin
looking to Triple H, that might happen because he is still insistent on expanding into India, even though it has failed how many times?
Hey, maybe Okada versus Jinder Mahal could be Okada's first win. Beat a former Jargo, a former WWE champion.
Aaron Rip, so help me God.
Okay, Kyle sent in a $2 super chat, so he agrees with me. He says Okada versus Gunther for the IC title would be the match. There you go.
But it would not set him up for the rest of his WWE career.
It's a stepping stone. The Intercontinental title. Are you saying that Okada's too good for a championship? That Shawn Michaels held?
That's the point.
He is to an audience that doesn't know who he is.
That's why you have to put him over so strong.
I think
that's the point.
Well, yeah, beating Gunther is a big deal. Beating somebody who had the title for 600 plus days and made it relevant again.
Are you catering to the 2 million people that already watch the TV show, or are you catering to the 2 million people that tune in to watch WrestleMania and that's it? They're never going to watch another show, but they watch and they're like, holy crap, that dude just beat Randy Orton. He's going to be a big deal.
Well, that's a fair point. Like if he came
in the second match, man, look at the little Japanese guy.
I wouldn't put it in the second match.
That would be the response.
I'd put it like semi-main or something like that. And if they go out there 30 minutes, I think people would be like,
it's WrestleMania.
Remember, Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker was like the middle of the show. And, you know, they had a great match and people remember it all these years later. So it doesn't have to be the main event. And yeah, it shouldn't be the first or second match, but if they put it in the middle of the show and they have 30 minutes and they tear the house down, he's a made man, as far as I'm concerned.
You're already watching the TV show. This is not a match for you.
Well, I'm saying people watching that are not fans will go like, wow, that was an incredible match, and I'll keep watching.
People that are watching that are not fans are not going to pay attention to a Gunther match. They're
sure
not.
They will. Gunther is credible.
No, they're not. They're going to go make
He's believable. When he wrestles, people are like, holy cow, that guy. You just don't like Gunther, I guess.
No, I love Gunther, but I already watched the show too. Gunther is not going to pull in a casual fan that watches one show a year. I love Gunther, but he's not that dude. Right. Okada is. He can pull in a whole freaking country.
I do want, if Okada did go to WWE, me and Jargo have a score to settle down. We need to get Okada Roman, but that's assuming Okada gets built up enough to be valuable in WWE. I mean, me and him have a video on this channel that goes back. Yeah, that would be huge for us.
So the thing is, we're arguing about this, and he's probably going to AEW.
Yeah. So, but anyway, Rock, Cody Roman.
I just don't believe that.
There's more super chats came in. By the way,
we do have a couple more here. Yeah. Jay Claude sent in a $5 super chat. Thank you for that. Says, shout out NoDQ. I was 12 when my friend first told me about the site. Now I'm 32. That's awesome, man. I appreciate your long-term viewership and support. Glad you're still watching and checking out the content. Thank you for that. Much love and appreciation. Jargo, if Okada does go to WWE, we got to get you on the first review after he signs, because we'll definitely have more opportunities.
AEW, even if he goes to AEW, because we got to assess that.
I mean, we already talked about this, but like we already seen him versus Omega. We've already seen him versus Bryan Danielson. Like, I would prefer him in WWE just because I think it would create a lot of new opportunities and it would be something different. Like, I feel like he's already gone through a lot of the AEW guys already. Like, it's nothing new.
Well, Joe. Okay, here's the thing, right? Just real quick on this Okada thing. The reason for him to go to AEW is money. And Kazuchika Okada does not need money. Kazuchika Okada was making $250 million yen every year in Japan. That's about $2.2 million a year that he's been making in Japan. And he's not even the breadwinner in his family. Mrs. Okada brings in a lot more money than
She's the
Kazuchika
Rainmaker.
Okada because she's an actress. She's the real Rainmaker. But Okada is so over in Japan. This man carried the Olympic torch. He is not here to make money. He is here about legacy. He's here to set himself up for his career in Japan after professional wrestling, like Antonio Inoki, becoming a politician and becoming a very high-ranking politician. It's not about money, and that's the only thing Tony Khan can offer Kazuchika Okada.
I mean, that is a valid point there. We got one more super chat from Psycho Jet Black. Seriously, why are Jinder Mahal and Baron Corbin still heels? And why do they insist on Jinder being a foreign heel? I thought we moved past that stuff. I think he just does it really well. Like, Jinder's good at pushing buttons and that sort of thing. But, I mean, Baron Corbin,
huge.
Yeah.
He's huge. He can't be a babyface. He's huge.
Yeah, and he's natural at pushing buttons and getting people under their skin. Same thing with Corbin, although – Corbin, if he got a chance to not do the anti-nice guy stuff, and maybe he could be a babyface. I don't know. Like,
bum-ass Corbin was so entertaining. Like
if we got to see like a different side of Corbin, he's not such a bad guy after all. But we really haven't gotten that opportunity with him to see a different side of him.
Baron Corbin could be JBL if they could just find the right gimmick for him.
Yeah, except the problem was JBL being like a carbon copy of him.
We did need a little break from all that Rock, Cody, Rollins stuff. So Okada, that was a nice little, I don't know, it just feels good to like get the other stuff, because we're going to go right back on the internet and Twitter and start talking about that again after this is over.
And we got a couple more super chats here. Jay Claude sent in a $5 super chat, says, NoDQ getting Virtue is like AEW or WWE getting CM Punk, good for business. There you go. He's a fan, Virtue. He appreciates you, as I do too, because you definitely have your opinions, and that's what makes the No DQ review great, is that everybody has their own opinion, and we're not afraid to speak our minds and have some different thoughts on wrestling, and we're all still friends at the end of the day. Most of the time, 99% of the time, we can all have a civil discussion on here without things getting too over the top. Now, Seth Rollins sent in a $9.99 super chat. Here we go again. He's going to get Jargo on again. He says, Gunther is highly underrated. He should be going up against Seth Rollins in a champion versus champion match. Have him take the title from Seth and disappearing the IC title. That's a take right there.
Do people know what underrated means?
I guess he thinks Gunther is a top guy, and Gunther is the Intercontinental champion. He thinks Gunther should be a world champion.
He will be.
Gunther should be a world champion.
He will
Gunther
be the AEW world champion.
But Mike, he doesn't wrestle for the world championship at WrestleMania. He doesn't wrestle for it at SummerSlam. He wrestles for it at Backlash. He wrestles for it at Fastlane. Like, he's a main event dude, but he's not a WrestleMania main event dude.
Mike,
Yeah.
what do you think about Okada?
I know nothing about the Japanese.
Okay, I figured that, but I wanted you to say.
Hold on. Let's ask Mike.
Yes, okay, good.
Tino was probably wanting to know that too. I mean,
Mike,
I figured that.
I take that back. I did see Edge wrestle some old guy on AEW who I have no idea who that
Minoru
was.
Suzuki.
Suzuki.
Mike, if Okada went to WWE, in your opinion, who should Okada fight to get over with the fans his first night in? Who would be his first opponent?
I don't even know who the guy is, so I don't know who.
Okay, let's just say, for argument's sake, the biggest wrestler in Japan comes to WWE. Who should he face so the American audience is like, holy crap, this guy is awesome, and I take him seriously? Who would be a great choice for him? Not knowing anything about this guy, but you want to make him a star in his first night.
Who?
Kevin Owens.
Kevin Owens. All right, there's a name. That would be a hell of a match. Jargo, I know it's not Randy Orton, but Kevin Owens has a lot of credibility with fans. I don't think he's a bad choice.
Yep. It would be a hell of a match, but I just don't think it's the right choice.
All right, well, fair enough. And Psycho Jet Black sent in $2. He says Okada's wife is more over than EC3. We had to get a little EC3 dig on there, courtesy of Psycho
What
Jet
happened
Black.
to our Bart Gunn tweets?
I don't know.
Well, now that you said it, you're going to set him off here as we're getting ready to wrap it up. But Virtue, great discussion tonight, and I'm looking forward to next week. We're going to have some more interesting discussion, and
the
next
press
week
conference will have happened. SmackDown will have happened. Raw will have happened.
Yeah. So we got a lot to talk about next week, I'm sure. The news just keeps on coming. It's a fun time to be a fan right now, definitely. So check out NoDQ.com and stay informed. Virtue?
Plug time. All right, Mike, go ahead. Any last thoughts?
Thanks for having me on, guys. Listen on Spotify or Apple Podcast to Flights, Football, to anything else. Episode 217 will drop Thursday night / Friday morning, depending on how much I drink.
Oh, jeez.
Thanks for being on.
And there it is right there. Follow Mike Peters over on all your streaming services such as Spotify. Check him out.
All right, thank you, Mike. I'm going to do my shout out to Big G, Walter, the whole NoDQ crew. You'll probably see at least Walter for sure next Tuesday, but they're always there. Colin, TJS, go ahead. What do you got to say?
Well, speaking of Big G, I think he wanted someone to read his rant. So is it okay if I...
you want to do it? Are you going to do it?
Go ahead. Read off the rant that comes from Big
G's rant that he posted
on Twitter. This is coming from Big G.
And I'll put him up on the screen so we're hearing it from Big G. Go ahead.
Here we go. Big Baller G says, okay, I've been quiet for a while now, but this is starting to get ridiculous. Stop shitting over something that hasn't officially been announced yet. And yes, I'm referring to the whole Cody Rock Roman situation. People are sending death threats to the Dwayne Johnson's daughter to where she has deactivated her X account. Fans need to stop being so damn fickle. Fans were clamoring for Rock versus Roman for the past couple of years, and here we are in 2024, and people are complaining. You don't work for WWE, so shut your damn mouth and know your role. Enjoy the wrestling as is, or shut it off. There is so much wrestling content out there, so watch something else. There, I have said my piece. And he used like this piece instead of saying...
And that's coming from the same Big G who kept saying it's never going to happen. It's never going to happen to me. It's never going to happen with Rock and Roman.
And the last thing that he said was, don't at me either or I'll block your candy ass.
Whoa.
So that's Big G's pipe bomb.
What Big G is cooking.
That's his pipe bomb.
All right. You done, TJS?
I'm done. That's it.
All right, Jargo.
I got nothing to plug, man. The only thing that I really do anymore is guest appearances on different shows here and there. So rather than plugging my own stuff, I'm going to plug my boy Matt's stuff. Hit him up on Twitter, TikTok, X, DX, Suck It, all that good stuff. Love Panda 24, X48.
Thank you for being on. I've been waiting for this for a long time, so kudos. Okay, Aaron.
All right,
we'll see you in 6 months.
Yeah, we'll see you in 6 months, Mr. CM Punk of the NoDQ review. Psycho Jet Black sent in $2 and says, Mike, what is your favorite Bart Gunn moment?
What was the boxing called?
Brawl for All.
The Brawl for All.
When he did all the knockouts or when he got obliterated by Butterbean?
Both.
Which one?
Both. That was my favorite.
I mean, he beat Dr. Death Steve Williams, so that was something.
Who was supposed to win that, actually.
Yeah. And then that one went to hell.
My favorite was when who knocked out? He knocked JBL out, didn't he?
I think so, yeah. And the Godfather.
Oh yeah, Bradshaw, yeah.
Yeah, so he had a few moments. We always make fun of him for getting knocked out, but
tag team champion with Billy.
Yeah, and they shoved a cake into Sonny's face one time, or maybe that was Shawn Michaels that did it. I forgot, but I still remember that moment when Sonny got the cake in her face on an episode of Raw. Anyways, thank you all for watching tonight.
Are we talking about wrestling or pornography? Because are Shawn Michaels a cake and Sonny, and we got all kinds of weird stuff going on.
This was on Monday Night Raw. This was uncut.
How raw was it, Aaron?
NoDQ.com will keep you updated. A pleasure to have Jargo, TJS, Mike, and Virtue all on tonight. Thank you guys, and thank you to the chat room for participating. And we'll see you next Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern. We're skipping the Super Bowl just for you. Oh, Mike, what did you think about the Lions losing?
Never was more happy to lose. I didn't lose $1,500. I would have won $1,500. And when they lost, they were winning 24-7 at half. I said, there's no way I'm going to celebrate because I'm a Bear fan and I absolutely hate the Lions. So I turned it off, started watching a JFK thing, thinking of ways I could spend my $1,500. The JFK special ended and they were down by 10. I'm like, well, that didn't end well.
Thank you for that.
What a Lions thing to do.
That's right.
All right. Ready, Aaron? I'm going to close it up. All right.
All
Go
right,
to NoDQ.com/merch. Go get the moderator shirt. Go get the NoDQ review. How about this? The NoDQ review shirt and any other shirt you want over there on NoDQ.com/merch. And if you dare, go to x.com and follow me at NoDQ_virtue. That is all I got for this episode. I'm sure next Tuesday we're going to have a lot more to talk about for TJS, for Mike, for Jargo, and Aaron, and the whole NoDQ crew and galaxy. I am Virtue. Good night, everybody. See you next Tuesday.
#WeWantCody.